Welcome to the history of the sleeping legend, Miyamoto Musashi, a man shaped by discipline, solitude, and relentless self-mastery. As you listen, allow your mind to slow. Let the lessons settle naturally, without effort. There is nothing you need to remember, only to absorb. Relax and enjoy. Miyamoto Musashi lived over 400 years ago in feudal Japan, during a period when warfare and martial skill determined social standing and survival. Born around 1584, he became known as one of history's greatest swordsmen, remaining undefeated throughout his entire career. His father died when Musashi was very young, leaving him to develop his skills largely through self-teaching and personal discipline. This early independence shaped his unique approach to combat and philosophy. Unlike many samurai who trained under established schools, Musashi forged his own path through direct experience and careful observation. The lessons from his life extend beyond swordsmanship. His principles about patience, observation, and mental discipline apply to modern challenges we face in work, relationships, and personal development. As you listen, you can absorb these timeless teachings at your own pace, letting them settle into your mind naturally. Musashi's first duel occurred at age 13 against a trained samurai named Arima Kihei. Despite his youth and inexperience, he won through careful observation and timing rather than superior strength. This early victory taught him that mental preparations and awareness could overcome physical disadvantages. During his teenage years and 20s, Musashi lived as a ronin, a masterless samurai, wandering from place to place. This lifestyle involved significant hardship, including hunger, exposure to harsh weather, and constant uncertainty. However, these difficulties developed his resilience and adaptability. He spent extensive time in nature, walking through forests and mountains, observing animal behavior, weather patterns, and the rhythms of the natural world. These observations informed his combat philosophy. He noticed how water flows around obstacles, how wind moves through trees, how predators wait for the perfect moment to strike. Physical conditioning was constant. Musashi walked enormous distances, wearing through sandals faster than most warriors dulled their blades. This detail reveals his commitment to continuous training. Every journey became practice. Every hardship became a lesson in endurance. The principle here is straightforward. Consistent, patient effort over long periods produces mastery. There are no shortcuts. Musashi didn't become unbeatable overnight. He accumulated knowledge and skill gradually, day by day, year by year. Musashi fought over 60 duels in his lifetime and never lost. This record wasn't luck. It resulted from systematic preparation and strategic thinking. Before each duel, he studied his opponent's style, habits, and psychological tendencies. He looked for patterns in their movement, preferences in their technique, and weaknesses in their strategy. His most famous duel was against Sasaki Kojiro on Ganryu Island in 1612. Kojiro was considered one of Japan's finest swordsmen, known for his incredibly long nodachi sword and his signature technique called the swallow's reversal. Musashi arrived intentionally late to the duel, a tactic designed to disturb Kojiro's mental equilibrium. When Musashi finally appeared, he carried a wooden sword, carved from an oar during his boat journey to the island. This choice seemed unusual, even disrespectful, but it served multiple purposes. The wooden sword was longer than a standard katana, giving him reach advantage. It was unexpected, creating psychological uncertainty, and it demonstrated his ability to adapt and use whatever tools were available. The duel itself lasted only moments. Musashi struck decisively, and Kojiro fell. The victory solidified Musashi's reputation but also illustrated his core principle. Battles are often won through psychological preparation and environmental awareness before physical contact begins. Musashi pioneered the two-sword technique called Nitin Ichi Ryu, meaning the school of the strategy of two heavens as one. He wielded a katana in his right hand and a shorter wakizashi in his left. This approach was revolutionary. Most samurai used their katana with both hands, but Musashi recognized that using both hands independently created more defensive and offensive options. The two-sword method allowed him to block with one sword while attacking with the other, to control different angles simultaneously, and to create unpredictable rhythm in combat. It required extensive training to coordinate both hands independently, but the strategic advantage was substantial. When fighting multiple opponents, Musashi used positioning and timing to avoid being surrounded. He maneuvered so enemies interfered with each other, creating brief moments when he faced only one opponent at a time. He remained calm, conserving energy, waiting for openings rather than attacking frantically. These combat principles translate to modern life. Preparation matters more than reaction. Staying calm under pressure allows clear thinking. Using unconventional approaches can provide unexpected advantages. Positioning yourself strategically, whether in negotiations, competitions, or projects, often determines outcomes before direct engagement begins. Musashi believed mental discipline was more important than physical skill. He trained extensively to control fear and maintain clarity during life-threatening situations. This mental control allowed him to observe details that panicked opponents missed. His approach to fear was acceptance rather than suppression. He acknowledged fear as natural information, then trained to prevent it from interfering with judgment or action. Through repeated exposure to dangerous situations, he developed the ability to think clearly, even when death was imminent. Observation was central to his method. Before duels, he studied opponents carefully, how they stood, where they looked, their breathing patterns, their habitual movements. Every detail provided information. A slight weight shift might reveal a preferred direction. An eye movement might telegraph an attack. Inconsistent breathing might indicate anxiety that could be exploited. Musashi spent considerable time in solitude, particularly in nature. This wasn't merely rest, it was active training for the mind. In silence and stillness, mental clarity increases, patterns become visible, intuition develops. The constant noise of social interaction and daily concerns fades, allowing deeper perception. He practiced a form of meditation that involved complete presence in the current moment, not thinking about the past or future, not planning or reminiscing, but existing fully in the immediate experience. This mental state proved crucial in combat, where split-second awareness could mean survival. Another key principle was flexibility in thinking. Musashi avoided rigid adherence to any single technique or strategy. He adapted to each opponent and situation, never fighting the same way twice if circumstances differed. This mental flexibility prevented opponents from predicting his actions. Deception played a role in his strategy. He would create false patterns to lure opponents into assumptions, then break those patterns at critical moments. He controlled the mental narrative of each duel, leading opponents to expect one thing while delivering another. The lesson here applies broadly. Emotional control and strategic thinking often matter more than raw capability. In business negotiations, athletic competitions, or difficult conversations, the person who remains calm and observant typically has an advantage over someone more skilled but less composed. Late in his life, around 1643, Musashi retreated to a cave called Reigondo. There he wrote the Book of Five Rings, called Go-Rin no Sho in Japanese. This text compiled his lifetime of experience into systematic philosophy and practical guidance. The book divides into 5 sections, each named after an element and addressing different aspects of strategy and mastery. The ground book, or earth book, covers fundamentals. Musashi emphasizes knowing your tools, your environment, and yourself thoroughly. Like a building requires solid foundation, all skill rests on basic principles, practiced until they become second nature. He discusses proper grip, stance, and movement. Technical details practiced thousands of times until they require no conscious thought. The water book addresses adaptability. Water takes the shape of its container, but maintains its essential nature. Musashi teaches adjusting your approach to circumstances without abandoning core principles. Against an aggressive opponent, be defensive. Against a defensive opponent, create pressure. Read the situation and respond appropriately, rather than forcing a predetermined plan. The fire book focuses on timing and intensity. Musashi describes different rhythms in combat. Fast attacks, slow attacks, sudden explosions of action after periods of stillness. He emphasizes recognizing moments when total commitment is necessary. Some situations require overwhelming force, applied at precisely the right instant. Hesitation or half measures guarantee failure. The Wind Book encourages studying other schools and approaches. Understanding different traditions reveals their strengths and limitations. This knowledge prevents you from being trapped by your own assumptions. By understanding how others think and act, you gain perspective on your own methods and can innovate beyond established patterns. The Void Book is the most abstract and philosophical. Musashi describes a state of mind without fixed form, open, receptive, ready for anything. This isn't emptiness as absence, but emptiness as pure potential. Like the moment before action, when all possibilities exist simultaneously. This state cannot be forced or grasped directly, only cultivated through long practice and self-awareness. These principles extend far beyond sword fighting. In any field requiring skill, whether music, athletics, business, or crafts, the same progression applies. Master fundamentals until they're automatic. Adapt to changing circumstances. Recognize crucial timing. Study different approaches. Cultivate a flexible, open state of mind that can respond to anything. Musashi emphasized patience in learning. He criticized students who sought quick results or flashy techniques without building proper foundation. True mastery develops slowly, through consistent practice over years or decades. There is no substitute for accumulated experience and careful refinement. Modern readers often find the Book of Five Rings relevant to contemporary challenges. The principles about preparation, observation, timing, and mental clarity apply to negotiations, competition, creative work, and personal development. The specific context changes, but the underlying wisdom remains useful. Musashi was an accomplished artist, creating paintings, calligraphy, and sculptures that are still valued today. His artistic work wasn't separate from his martial training. It was another expression of the same principles. His paintings often depicted simple subjects, bamboo, birds, landscapes, but the execution required the same qualities as swordsmanship. Precise timing, controlled movement, complete focus, understanding of balance and composition. Each brushstroke had to be exactly right because ink on paper cannot be corrected. Like a sword cut, once executed, the action is final. Calligraphy particularly demonstrated his mastery of control and awareness. The pressure on the brush, the speed of movement, the amount of ink, all had to be perfect to create beautiful characters. This practice refined his physical control and mental concentration in ways that translated directly to combat. Musashi also practiced sculpture and woodworking, creating Buddhist statues and other objects. These activities required patience, attention to detail, and the ability to envision the final form within raw material. The mental discipline of sustained focus over hours or days strengthened his ability to maintain concentration in briefer but more intense situations. His spiritual practice included meditation and study of Zen Buddhism. Though he never formally joined a monastery, he spent extensive periods alone in nature, sometimes for weeks at a time, living simply and observing his own mind. This contemplative practice developed his intuition and self-awareness. The integration of martial arts, artistic expression, and spiritual practice created a comprehensive approach to personal development. Musashi didn't separate these areas of life into distinct categories. Each informed and strengthened the others. His sword technique improved his brushwork. His meditation sharpened his combat awareness. His painting refined his sense of timing. This holistic approach offers a lesson for modern life. We often compartmentalize our activities, work here, hobbies there, personal development somewhere else. But skills and insights from one area can enhance all others. Discipline learned through physical training applies to creative projects. Patience developed through meditation helps with difficult relationships. Focus cultivated in any activity transfers to new challenges. Musashi's life spanned approximately 62 years, during which he never stopped learning and refining his understanding. Even in his final years, he continued to practice and develop new insights. This commitment to lifelong growth exemplifies an important principle. Mastery is a direction, not a destination. Throughout his life, he fought in various terrains and conditions: forests, riverbanks, beaches, indoors, outdoors, on stable ground and unstable ground. Each environment presented different challenges requiring adaptation. He couldn't rely on a single technique or approach, working in all situations. He participated in several major battles during Japan's Civil War period, including the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600. These large-scale conflicts differed drastically from individual duels, requiring awareness of positioning within chaotic situations, endurance over extended periods, and the ability to function while exhausted and injured. Musashi's diet was often minimal, whatever he could find or afford. This taught him to function effectively regardless of physical comfort. He didn't require ideal conditions to perform at his best. This adaptability meant he was never at a disadvantage when circumstances were difficult. His clothing and equipment were simple and practical. Unlike some samurai who prized elaborate armor and decorated swords, Musashi focused on functionality. This approach reflected his pragmatic philosophy. What works matters more than what looks impressive. As he aged, his approach evolved. The young Musashi relied more on physical attributes: speed, strength, endurance. The older Musashi emphasized strategy, timing, and psychological advantage. This evolution demonstrates wisdom, adapting your methods as circumstances change, rather than clinging to approaches that no longer serve you. He trained students in his later years, passing on his techniques and philosophy. Teaching forced him to articulate principles he had previously understood only intuitively. This process deepened his own understanding. By explaining concepts to others, he refined his grasp of essential truths. The lesson about endurance and adaptation applies universally. Life presents constantly changing challenges. The skills that serve you in one period may become less relevant in another. Physical capabilities decline with age, but strategic thinking and experience can compensate. The ability to adapt, to learn new approaches, to let go of what no longer works, often determines long-term success. more than initial talent. Musashi died in 1645, but his influence extends centuries beyond his lifetime. The Book of Five Rings remains widely read, translated into numerous languages, and applied to fields far beyond martial arts. Business leaders study his principles of strategy. Athletes use his teachings about mental preparation. Artists find inspiration in his ideas about creativity and discipline. His life has been depicted in countless books, films, television series, manga, and video games. While many of these portrayals take creative liberties with historical facts, they demonstrate the enduring fascination with his story and philosophy. The core appeal remains consistent: the idea that mastery comes through dedicated practice, mental discipline, and continuous learning. Military strategists have analyzed his methods for insight into tactical thinking. His emphasis in psychology, preparation, and adaptability resonates with modern approaches to competition and conflict. The principle that battles are often won before physical engagement begins appears throughout military theory and practice. His two-sword technique influenced the development of various martial arts. While many schools continue to emphasize the two-handed grip on a single katana, others explored dual wielding and incorporated Musashi's insights about creating multiple angles of attack and defense. The philosophical aspects of his teaching, particularly from the Book of Five Rings, have been applied to business strategy, negotiation, and competitive sports. The concepts of studying opponents, controlling timing, adapting to circumstances, and maintaining mental clarity translate well to nonviolent competition. Psychologists have examined his methods of managing fear and maintaining focus under extreme stress. His techniques for developing calm awareness in life-threatening situations parallel modern approaches to anxiety management and performance psychology. Artists and musicians reference his ideas about practice, patience, and the integration of technique with intuition. The concept that mastery requires years of dedicated effort, that there are no shortcuts, contradicts modern expectations of rapid results, but resonates with anyone who has seriously pursued excellence in any field. The most significant aspect of his legacy might be this: Musashi demonstrated that mastery is achievable through dedicated, intelligent practice over extended time. He wasn't born with supernatural abilities. He developed his skills through systematic effort, careful observation, and willingness to learn from every experience. This offers hope and practical guidance to anyone pursuing excellence in any domain. Miyamoto Musashi's effectiveness came from integration, combining physical skill, mental discipline, strategic thinking, and continuous learning. He mastered not just techniques, but principles underlying all effective action. The core lessons from his life can be summarized simply: though living them requires commitment, observation provides advantage. Pay attention to details others miss. Small cues reveal important information. Cultivate awareness of your environment and the people in it. Preparation matters more than reaction. Anticipate challenges. Study patterns. Position yourself strategically before situations become urgent. Do the work beforehand so you can respond effectively in the moment. Patience produces mastery. Quick results rarely last. Sustainable excellence develops through consistent practice over long periods. Accept that meaningful achievement requires time. Adaptability beats rigid strength. Circumstances change constantly. What worked before may not work now. Stay flexible in methods while maintaining clear purpose. Mental control enables physical performance. Fear, anger, and anxiety interfere with clear thinking and effective action. Train your mind as deliberately as your body. Integration creates wholeness. Don't separate different aspects of life into isolated compartments. Skills developed in one area strengthen abilities elsewhere. Physical discipline supports mental clarity. Artistic practice refines combat technique. Everything connects. Solitude and reflection deepen understanding. Regular time away from constant stimulation allows insight to develop. In quiet, patterns become visible. In stillness, intuition strengthens. Continuous learning never ends. Even masters remain students. Every experience offers something to learn. Stay curious, stay humble, keep growing. As you settle into sleep, these principles can rest quietly in your awareness. You don't need to grasp them actively or memorize them deliberately. Simply let them be present, like seeds planted in soil. Over time, in their own way, they may take root and grow, influencing your approach to challenges, informing your decisions, shaping how you meet the world. Musashi walked his path 4 centuries ago, but the wisdom he discovered remains applicable. The specific details of your life differ vastly from his, yet the underlying principles about patience, discipline, observation, and continuous growth apply across all times and circumstances. Rest now, knowing that mastery, whatever form it takes in your life, develops gradually through consistent effort. Like Musashi walking those ancient roads, wearing through sandals as he traveled toward understanding, you too are on a journey. Each day offers opportunities to observe, to learn, to practice, to grow slightly stronger and wiser. The path to excellence is not complicated, though it is demanding. Show up. Pay attention. Practice. Reflect. Repeat. This simple formula, applied consistently over time, produces remarkable results. Sleep well, and let these lessons settle into your mind like snow, falling softly on quiet mountains.